Good morning. Welcome to all of our alumni here. Happy homecoming. Homecoming Friday today. Good to see so many alumni in the room today. Welcome to our Basin Street Club here at Mackey Stadium for what we think is a pretty special, pretty amazing announcement today in support of Wolfpack athletics and specifically Wolfpack baseball. This is something we've been talking about for a while now, for a few years, upgrading Peccole Park. And for the alumni that are here, the baseball alumni specifically, you know that park is 30 years old next year. 2018 will mark the 30th anniversary of Peccole Park. And like many of our facilities, after 30 years, it's time for some upgrades. The last major upgrade was in 2006 with the turf and the lights, and that turf and some other parts of the facility need to be upgraded now, and it's about time. So many great memories. Even in my short time here, the last few years, seeing the first ever sold-out game, 2015, hosting the first Mountain West Conference championship for any one of our sports at Peccole Park. It's been pretty special the last few years. And I look around the room and I see so many alumni, and I can't even imagine the memories, the great stories. I've heard some of them. Shouldn't repeat them today, but there's a lot of great stories and a lot of great memories from Wolfpack baseball alumni, and especially over the last 30 years in that great baseball park. And what I hear from baseball people, visiting teams, other coaches around, they view that as one of the great college baseball parks in the West, and has a lot of respect and a lot of great things happen. You think about all the great players that have played there, all the great players that have worn that jersey, the All-Americans, All-Conference, conference championship teams, the many players that have gone on to play in the big leagues. And you think about all that has happened here on this great campus and this great facility. But now, 30 years in, it's time for some work, right? Time for a facelift, time for renovation. And when Coach Bruce and I talk about what that looks like, what are all the possibilities, what are all the things you could do, you can do for a facility, the neat thing about this, and the neat thing about TJ in particular, is his mindset is always about the players, right? All the possible things you could do to a facility, the one thing we keep focusing on, the one thing TJ keeps focusing on is what's the most important thing for recruiting, what's the most important thing for training and performance of our athletes. And so as we look to renovate and we look to improve on that great facility, there's essentially 5 areas that we've talked about that'll go into this renovation. The first is the playing surface, right? It's 12 years old. It's a few years past, right? For the guys in the back of the room that are playing there every day, it's overdue, right? So if you drive by the park right now, you'll see there's nothing, there's no turf. We pulled up the turf and we're laying down a brand new sprint turf field this next month, and it'll be ready to go for us in the new season. In addition to that, we're working on finishing off a new outfield fence. Right, long overdue again, but just something that'll really dress up and make that park shine when you come into the stadium this next spring. Next piece is new scoreboard. Right, again, attractive piece, helps in recruiting, some video technology, something that'll really make that park shine. Third piece is enhancing the batting cages. Right, batting cages are great, but there's new technology. There's new things that we can do to help our teams in terms of training and recruiting. Upgrading the clubhouse, right? For the alumni, if you haven't been back, it hasn't changed, right? I think it's the same carpet, it's the same lockers as when it was first built. It's time for a change. So upgrading, enhancing the clubhouse, and then finally adding in a new player lounge, attaching a player lounge to the clubhouse where we have a place where the team can spend their time in between classes and practices and everything else they do. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot being planned, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But I think, without a doubt, there's one person that can speak to the importance of this facility. There's one person that can speak to the importance of why this is necessary and why now, and that's the head coach. And I'd love TJ to come up and say a few words, if you would. Please welcome our head baseball coach, TJ Bruce.
Thanks everybody for coming. Truly special moment, truly historical day, I think, in Nevada baseball history as we get get ready to move forward. You know, to Don Weir and his family and Tony, you know, we're extremely humbled and honored by your generosity and your gift. Words can't describe what this means to not only me, but what this means to Nevada baseball and our community. Don and our relationship started about 2.5 years ago, and I would say it's a relationship that runs a lot deeper than just baseball, community, Nevada. It's a special bond that I think that Don and I and his wife Tony and his family will have really for the rest of my life. I came here 2.5 years ago, and right away Don and I hit it off, and it was a mentor, mentee type relationship. There was a lot of thoughts shared, a lot of past, a lot of stories shared. A lot of them that Doug touched on we can't share. But there was just a friendship and a bond and a trust that started, and we're so entrenched in it 2.5 years later. And it's not only with me, it's with my family and my kids. So to Don and Tony and his family, I'm truly blessed to have you guys a part of my life and my family's life. The impact on Don's gift is huge. You know, as we keep evolving in athletics, sports, in this particular instance, baseball, it's all about players, and it's all about player development, and it's all about recruiting. We are in what we call now in 2017 a facilities recruiting arms race. It's what it is. It's who has the best, the brightest pitching machine, clubhouse, who has the most jerseys. We're just in that time. And with this gift, we know that the Weir family is going to put us right in front of not only the Mountain West, but they're going to put us in front of the West Coast when it comes to facilities and stuff for our players to develop at the highest level here. We are building upon player development every day. We're building upon the professional athletes every day as our players, our student athletes, not only aspire to get a degree from the University of Nevada, but they aspire to go on and move forward in their professional careers. And we think with this gift that the Weir family is doing for Nevada baseball, we think this will put the best technology in front of our team and our players to develop at that rapid rate that we want. You know, this is also a tribute to Nevada baseball past. I've always been one to say you better know your past to write your future. That's the biggest deal. And this gift with Donnie and his family put us in touch with Nevada baseball as a whole. We're standing here today because of the former players like Don and the many of you that are in this room that I can't begin to name, but all came out here to support. We're standing here in this room because former head coach Gary Powers, what he built and what we're trying to build upon what Gary built and what they represented. This is just as much for former players as it is for the current players. To the former players and coaches, thank you for all you've done to pave the way for our current student athletes. Without you guys and without your hard work, your blood, sweat, and tears, this would not be possible for our current student athletes. To Don and Tony, thank you again for your generosity in believing in not only myself, but believing in Nevada baseball. You are both very special to me and my family, as well as the community. And I'll leave you with one last thing, and Coach Alt said this plenty of times, is you got to connect your past with your present to lay the foundation for your future. And that's what we've done here. Thank you.
It's hard to top that. Thank you, TJ. Great job. One of the things I learned a long time ago in fundraising was the importance of relationships, right? It's people that we talk about every single day. It's the relationships, and there are a lot of other folks involved in getting us to this spot today. And certainly, and I kind of kidded about with our staff one time about, I think Rory was maybe the starter. Got some conversations going on this. Lisa Anderson, Mo Kachurik, I think came in middle relievers, but TJ closed. And frankly, TJ was there all along. And that relationship was absolutely vital. And congratulate TJ as well for, as a head coach, there's not many coaches I think of that can say that they were involved in such a major, transformational, impactful gift to do a facility like this. So a lot of credit goes to TJ Bruce and what he's been able to do too, so thank you. One of the things I've talked a lot about recently is alumni giving, right? Former athletes giving back. And last year, almost to this date, we had a big announcement of a gift from Ramon Sessions, and his gift to help us transform Lombardi Rec Center into the new Ramon Sessions Basketball Performance Center. And we talked to Ramon at the time about how much the community would be involved and how much that would mean to link community members to former athletes, but former athletes to be really involved in a leadership way. And we told Ramon at that time that his gift would be a leadership gift for that practice facility, but would also be a leadership gift in terms of us connecting with and bringing other former athletes to the table for large, impactful gifts as well. So a year later, here we are, talking about another former athlete, and this time a baseball athlete, stepping up in a major way to support his alma mater, to support Wolfpack Athletics, and to support his team. And it means so much to us, Don. It means so much to us to have a former athlete to lead the way, right? Because we will have community support. We will have community members who will step up in a large way to help us get this project done, but we've got to have former athletes, and frankly, we've got to have former athletes leading. And your gift means a lot to us, not just for the facility, but it means a ton for us in terms of connecting former athletes in big ways to our facilities and to our future as well. And so we just can't thank you enough for that, what you and Tony are doing here. And you all know Don was a star pitcher, star for the Pack a few years ago. And obviously went on to have an amazing business career and leadership position in our community. And he and Tony have been philanthropists and have supported a lot of organizations in our community here in Northern Nevada. And we're so thrilled to have someone of his stature, of a former athlete, to be here participating in this major project as well. And so thrilled and so thankful. And I'd love to have you and Tony say a few words if you'd like today. If you would, please welcome Don and Tony Weir to the mic.
Thank you. Don't touch the mic because it kind of moved. Wow. I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is quite a turnout, so thank you so much. Well, Doug said I'm a student athlete, but I'm an ancient student athlete. And I came to school here in 1965 to play baseball. Almost went to St. Mary's on a last minute change of heart. I had my classes at St. Mary's ready to go down in the Bay Area, and I decided to take Coach I's offer and come to Nevada. And boy, was it the smartest and greatest thing that ever happened to me. When I graduated, of course, I got to go have a cup of coffee in professional baseball, which was a very nice experience. But it all springboarded from what I did and what the University of Nevada gave to me during my college career. And I'll tell you, the gift I'm giving is not only to bring, Nevada baseball up to a higher standard with their facilities, but it's also for Coach TJ to recruit really good student athletes. And with this, not only is he going to have great athletes come to the school, but also for this community later on. Not every one of the ball players, even though that's their aspirations, to play professional baseball, will end up doing that. But our hopes is to bring them here to the university so that later on they stay in our community and do some amazing things, because these are going to be great, great young people. And I'm a prime example of that. came to school from the San Francisco Bay Area, San Ramon High School in Danville, came up here to the University of Nevada, played ball, and eventually stayed here. My whole family, my parents moved up here, and of course we were able to get in business, and 50 years later, I'm able to do this. So I just want to thank all the coaches, the staff, Doug, for this opportunity. We are very blessed to be able to do this, and I think it'll make a big difference. But my amazing wife, Tony, she's the backbone of all this. She said, well, this is going to cut my Saks Fifth Avenue shopping down to Target, but we're still happy to be able to and fortunate to be able to do this donation to the baseball program. And honey, do you want to say a few words?
Oh, sure. I'll say a few. I just have to say that this really, what is happening with Don and the university now and the gift has brought him full circle in what has been probably the most important thing in his life, other than family and world peace, baseball. And from when I first met him on Easter Sunday in Alamo, California, right down from Danville, and at some friend's house. And my dad had him play, what was it called?
CYO.
CYO baseball with him. My dad was the coach. So I'm like, oh, this guy is so cute, you know. And then, so we were at separate elementary schools. We came to the same high school at San Ramon. And then gradually we became boyfriend, girlfriend. And I knew if anything was ever going to get in the way between him and me, it was going to be baseball. But it didn't. It didn't. And I went to his games, and then he went to UNR, and I went to Chico State. So we were kind of driving back and forth between to see each other. And it's just been baseball, baseball, baseball. And I'm so proud of him and so happy that he can share with the community via what he's doing at Piccolo and having his name on things. This is his dream come true, so it's mine too. Thank you.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, one other thing. Still, Tony and I just turned 70, and so still to this day, sometimes I get myself to sleep at night thinking about bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. I'm on the mound, 3-2 pitch, and I gotta throw one by somebody, and so it's always the fastball, and so. I love this game of baseball. It's still deep in my heart, and I remember everything from this school like it was yesterday. And I want to thank everybody for coming out, and again, thank you, hon.
Hey, Don. All right, appreciate you all coming today. I think we're going to ask the media to stick around for some individual, and everyone else, have a great homecoming weekend. Let's get a win tonight. Go Pack.